Members of this committee, please turn your attention to the video screens.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace, as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
You believe in open borders and complete chaos. Did you notice the bipartisan support in the chamber? As the video was played, everybody was clapping in that chamber. If I were in Congress in 1995, I would have also stood. Because I wasn't, I stand here today. Other than President Donald J. Trump, the greatest president in my lifetime with the most safest and secure border, I believe President Clinton understood just how important border security is to our nation. But boy, oh boy, have times changed. 28 years later, the left has gone off the rails. They've gone completely nuts. They've done just the opposite of what the leader of the Democrat Party, President Clinton, stood for on border security in 1995. This committee's ranking member, he was in Congress in 1995. I assume he stood. It seemed like the majority, if not all of the entire chamber, they stood. Matter of fact, Mr. Clinton delivered his speech in the third year of his first term. And he was reelected in 1996. He beat Bob Dole, won by over 8 million votes, won the Electoral College 379 to 159. He had the support of the American people, and I'm going to assume the ranking member also voted for Bill Clinton in 1996. We have two other members, Ms. Jackson and Ms. Lofgren. They were both freshmen at the time. I will assume they stood during that powerful speech as well. And do you know why they supported and voted? They voted for legislation in 1996 strengthening our immigration laws. I applaud them for that. So what's changed, folks? What's changed with the Democrat Party? I'll tell you what's changed. If you wouldn't have heard President Clinton's voice or seen his face, you would have thought Donald Trump delivered that speech. I don't believe that President Clinton was called a racist, a white supremacist who hated immigrants, as the left and the dishonest media has painted Donald J. Trump to be. I have a report from the Heritage Foundation titled Tracking Movement of Illegal Aliens from NGOs to Interior of the USA. Why do you think NGOs have moved illegal immigrants to 431 of the 435 congressional districts? The truth is, hear me, it's because the Democrats' progressive policies are not acceptable to Americans. Heritage obtained a sampling of approximately 30,000 cell phones that were tracked to NGOs along border states. They tracked approximately 22,000 devices at 20 NGO locations in January 2022. The same devices were later traced to 431 separate U.S. congressional districts, and of the 52 with the highest rate of tracked devices, 71 of them were Republican congressional districts. The report revealed that it's not a coincidence, folks. The flood of illegal immigrants means a continued rise in surplus laborers. That surplus drives down the wages of existing middle-class and lower-class job holders until they leave the job forces, and then they're forced to go on welfare with the hopes that they will become loyal supporters of the Democrats. That's what this is all about.
Is it safe to say that Democrats hate President Trump? And then by that very same logic to say that Democrats hate America because President Trump is literally doing everything humanly possible to stand up for you and I, for this country, for this great nation, for America. Even so much as to saying and doing the same exact things that Democrats said but never did, as they delivered empty campaign promises because they knew that's what Americans wanted. They just also knew that they were never going to do it. Their goals, their intentions, their motives were different. For instance, Mayor Brandon Johnson of the failed city of Chicago just a couple years ago literally said he would do anything and everything in his power to put an end to crime. Fast forward to today, he blames the crime on President Trump.
We can actually solve crime in the city of Chicago with my plan. We will never be able to end gun violence in Chicago as long as the president continues to allow tens of thousands of guns to be trafficked into our state and our city.
Loot because that's how they can eat?
The real answer is, how do we make sure, the question is, how do we make sure that people can eat? Look, no one is going to condone, behavior that quite frankly speaks to a level of desperation.
So you're not condoning looting?
I'm saying that people are acting out of desperation. We don't want a society that is acting out of desperation, but you have to pay attention to the cries that people have.
So you're not condoning looting?
There's no way to embrace that. What I'm saying is you can't condone the looting that corporations continue to do every single day when they take tax dollars from black, brown, white folks all over the city of Chicago so that they can turn a profit.
You can't make this shit up, folks. You can't make this shit up. And the Democrats hate Republicans unless Republicans hate Donald Trump. And that's when you get instances like these with Jasmine Crockett siding with Thomas Massey, but it's Thomas Massey. I'll leave that there. Hey guys, good morning. It's early as shit. I'm in the lobby, but I wanted to share this with you because I thought it was important. Some of these comments say, why would anyone vote Democrat today is beyond me. Any sane Democrat who hasn't left the party at this point is no longer sane. Truth to a Democrat is like a cross to a vampire and the party of hypocrisy. Yeah, glad someone dug this out. Truth is truth. That clip of President Clinton should be included in all Republican commercials. Yeah. You know, this one says, dang, Clinton was MAGA. Clinton was a lot of things. And I think Clinton may actually be, oh man, Clinton's future is uncertain at this point. Bill Clinton or Hillary Clinton, or perhaps maybe even Chelsea Clinton, as we're on the subject here of NGOs. And how much was she paid? How much was she paid by USAID? I don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm not going to go and bring that in. But if you know, or if you can find out, drop it in the comments. And I've got some other ones that I want to show you and share with you. For instance, not the one about the Corvette ZR1 going full send on Tail of the Dragon, which sounds like an awesome video. I may have to just save that and watch that later. We've got JD Vance here, and it says, the reporter, she was suddenly very silent, was stunned when JD Vance exposed the Democrats' biggest scam. And that's a bold statement there. Biggest scam? Because there sure are a lot of them. I don't know if we can say any one was the biggest scam, but actually, we'll check that one out later as well. 4 simple steps to growing your YouTube channel and business. I like that. How I finally made my first $1,000 on YouTube. Real numbers. Heck yeah. But more importantly, or at least the one we're going to discuss now, because I do think it's really important to make money. and find ways to make more, because that's just the way the world works, folks. Everything is more expensive now than it was, and everything will continue to be more expensive in the future than it is currently. Granted, President Trump is doing all he can to limit the amount of inflation, lower interest rates, and increase our take-home pay, and not just in dollars, but also in decentralized cryptocurrency, for which my buddy Keith, we actually talked yesterday for about an hour. I was on the road. I had a lot of windshield time, and we were just going in on his latest video and the future of not just crypto, but investments through crypto, and how these financial institutions, banks, fund managers are going to be essentially growing wealth, widening the wealth gap in a way that most people are completely unaware, or at the very least completely afraid of doing, or even just learning.
We're in the middle of what could be the most explosive bull run in crypto history. We have the US government rushing out crypto legislation, including the Genius Act that was passed in July and the upcoming Clarity Act. Donald Trump signed an executive order to consider the creation of a strategic Bitcoin reserve and national crypto stockpile. And we have publicly traded companies in the United States adding cryptocurrency to their balance sheet. And while everyone is arguing about whether or not the bull run is already over, there's a small sliver of crypto investors, around 2.5%, who do not care. Why would these investors not care whether or not the bull run is over? Because they understand that cryptocurrency enables a new type of finance, where anyone, anywhere in the world can earn yield on their assets. And they are taking full advantage of this, whether prices are going up or not. The data says that somewhere around 97.5% of crypto investors are just buying, holding, and hoping that the price goes up and that they can perfectly nail the top. But the smart money, the crypto insiders and the institutions, are playing a totally different game. They're not just waiting around for the prices of these assets to go up. And also, they really aren't necessarily even looking to sell. They're generating cash flow on these assets every single second of the day. And they're doing this on blockchains, which are permissionless, meaning that nothing is stopping you from doing the exact same thing. Let me give you one simple example of what I'm doing and what you can start doing to earn passive income on your crypto today. If you hold Ethereum, for instance, you can go to a decentralized lending protocol like Compound or Aave and lend that Ethereum out and earn somewhere around 3%. And when I say 3%, I don't mean 3% just on the notional value. I mean, you could be earning 3% on your Ethereum. So if you deposit 1 Ethereum, at the end of the year, you could end up with 1.03 Ethereum. So when the price of Ethereum goes up, so does your yield. You don't have to just buy cryptocurrencies and hold them hoping that they go up and that you perfectly nail the top when you want to make an exit. You can be earning cash flow on these assets 24/7. And that's just one very basic, simple strategy. Quick note before we go any further, this is not financial advice. Decentralized finance is extremely powerful, but it does not come without risk. Always do your own research and never put in more than you can afford to lose. What I'm about to show you is exactly what I'm doing and what plenty of others are doing to earn passive income on their crypto. Step 1, let's say you bought a little bit of crypto, and specifically we're going to use ETH in this example, on a centralized exchange like Coinbase or Caleb and Brown. Step 2, you're then going to set up a non-custodial wallet like MetaMask. Then you're going to send that crypto that you got from your centralized exchange over to MetaMask. Finally, you're going to connect your MetaMask to a decentralized lending platform like Aave. And then you're going to choose which asset that you have that you'd like to lend out. Let's imagine it's Ethereum or maybe even stablecoins. And then you deposit your assets to a decentralized lending pool on Aave. That's it. You're officially participating in DeFi and earning passive income on your crypto 24/7. And if you're thinking to yourself, I don't know, this sounds kind of risky and maybe even complicated, don't worry. I get it. I put together a free training that walks you through how to do this step by step. Click the link in the description and in the pinned comments for that. This link is actually going to take you to the waitlist for my upcoming program, so you'll get the free training and you won't miss out when we launch. And you might be thinking that all of this just sounds way too good to be true. And honestly, I thought the same back in 2017 when I first started getting into crypto, just buying and holding. In 2020, I actually worked with one of the first ever real world asset tokenization projects in DeFi, right in the middle of DeFi summer when this space exploded to over $170 billion in total value locked. Later, I became an advisor at the Security Token Group, helping companies understand the process of tokenizing securities and issuing them on a blockchain. I later then moved on to become a fully licensed investment broker, and through all of this, I got to see it firsthand. The smart money is already participating in decentralized finance. They're generating yield while everyone else is just holding crypto and waiting for it to go up. Ever since those experiences, I went across several different states, giving talks to high schoolers, university students, and even doing workshops for everyday people, trying to teach the concept of blockchain and the power of decentralized finance. All just because I wanted to make sure that I did my part to make sure that people aren't completely getting left behind. And by the way, lending out Ethereum or stablecoins on platforms like Aave and Compound is just the very beginning. Using decentralized finance, you can earn income by providing liquidity to liquidity pools, where you get paid every time someone uses a decentralized exchange. You can participate in leveraged yield farming, where you actually borrow off of your crypto and then use those proceeds to go invest in other opportunities. And honestly, right now, you can even just use stablecoins to get a higher yield than you could in a traditional savings account. And these aren't fringe experiments, by the way. This has been going on for years, and smart money has been taking advantage of it this whole time. And then let's zoom out a little bit, because we have companies like BlackRock that are coming in and buying up Ethereum through their ETFs. We have companies putting Ethereum on their balance sheets. And then we have institutions that are filing for ETFs, not to just buy Ethereum, but to also be able to stake and earn yield on that Ethereum as well. This is Wall Street openly saying, hey, we are ready for DeFi. And then my absolute favorite is the Trump family's World Liberty Fi project that has been buying millions of dollars of Ethereum, and hear me out, over $10 million of wrapped Bitcoin. They're buying wrapped Bitcoin because it allows them to take that value of that Bitcoin and use it on Ethereum, where they can actually lend it out, stake it, and participate in decentralized finance with that Bitcoin instead of having to just buy it and hold it. Most retail investors have no idea that this is happening, but here's how this always goes down. Institutions get wind and they put all of their money into the space, and then yields compress. The best opportunities are going to go to the early adopters, and that window to be an early adopter is closing fast. Here's the thing. Yes, the opportunity to earn yield on your crypto, whether markets are going up or down, is massive, but it does not come without risks. And if you don't know what you're doing, you can mess it up. And that's why I've built out my step-by-step mentorship program, where I'm going to show you personally what I'm doing to earn passive income on my crypto, and how you can do the same safely whether markets are going up or down. I've just now launched the waitlist to this program, and opportunities to join will be on a first come, first served basis. So if you're interested at all, click the link in the description to sign up. And when you join the waitlist, you're also going to get access to a free training that's going to show you step by step how you can start earning your first passive income on crypto in less than 7 days. Click the link in the description or in the pinned comments to sign up for the waitlist and get your free training. Do not make the same mistakes as 97.5% of crypto investors who just hold and wait and hope that the price goes up and that they sell right on time. I'm Keith D, and if you want to learn more about how to earn passive income on your crypto using DeFi, like and subscribe and let me know in the comments. See you next time.
I thought about bringing Keith on to the channel. Let me know. Let me know if you guys like to see that happen. Maybe we could do a live stream and you can ask questions in real time. But when Gavin Newsom, completely unrelated, and my buddy Keith he's not in California. He's not a Democrat like Gavin Newsom in California, but Gavin Newsom humiliated as Trump tricks him into doing what he wants. The Rubin Report asks, who's laughing now?
We're going to advance this effort down in L.A. To other parts of the Central Valley, not just limited to Bakersfield.
Gavin Newsom, who's still at this point, this is a man who should be living in a cave somewhere, embarrassed to be seen. But now he's trying because he still wants to be president. And the Democrats, because there is no leader right there, Jillian showed me the clip yesterday of Kamala saying she's out. I mean, they just have no leader, inmates running the asylum, crazy people everywhere, cats and dogs, all of the stuff. Gavin is now trying to be tough guy when it comes to law enforcement in California, because he realizes if he's ever going to be able to be president, God forbid, that his track record, that Cali will have to be cleaned up. So here he is, and look at the imagery here, talking about how he's advancing law enforcement. Now, this is purely because it's been exposed. We all showed all of the videos of what's gone on there. It's perfect imagery. He looks like DeSantis with the officers behind him, and this is purely because Trump has made an issue out of it. Here's Newsom pretending to be a tough guy who's for law enforcement.
Effort that will now take shape on border division down in San Diego. We're going to advance this effort down in L.A. To other parts of the Central Valley, not just limited to Bakersfield, in partnership with Mayor Go there in San Bernardino. And we're going to expand this operation in a collaborative that continues to include the cities and counties, our partners in the sheriff's office and local law enforcement agencies. We continue as well to work with the federal partners. I'll remind you, in San Francisco, working with the Biden administration.
So look, this guy needs to be exposed. At every turn, he needs to be exposed, because he probably is the most dangerous politician in the country, because he has endless ambition, a completely out of control ego, and I would say no heart or soul. That's what I would say. But you can see, isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting, Gavin? And I'm still trying to, is he still doing the podcast? They never responded to us after we had a little back and forth. I don't know if the podcast, if he's still doing it, but he's still welcome on this show, and I'd be happy to go on his show, both of them live, no edits. But Gav, if you're suddenly so interested in what's going on with the border, and you're suddenly so interested in cleaning up Bakersfield and a couple of these other cities, why didn't you do that for this last decade when you were mayor of San Francisco, or during your horrible reign of terror as governor of California? The only reason you're doing it now is because you're being exposed, and because Trump is going in as the president and doing the things that you as the governor refused to do.
Drop down below in the comments if you guys love Senator John Kennedy and think that he is America's favorite senator, okay? Let me know your thoughts down below. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. Thank you for all donations, and all the links to support the channel are down below. It's great to see you guys. There's a lot to unpack here. Senator John Kennedy's back at it, dropping truth bombs that the left-wing, mainstream media can't stand to hear, okay? It's the truth they hate, and we all know it, okay? And we're going to get right into it, and let's go.
Louisiana Senator John Kennedy is joining us now. He serves on the Judiciary Committee. Sir, welcome to you, and good to have you here. So, Senator, do you want to see the National Guard sent into Chicago?
Well, I would prefer to have them invited. But if I could, Sandra, I want to make a comment, a rare note of gratitude to Governor Newsom. He has surprised all of us and done something intelligent. He has decided to send the state police, California State Police, into his major cities to help local cops fight crime and violence. Now, you don't have to be a senior at Caltech to know that that's in response to the Trump administration's threat to send in federal law enforcement officials. But look, I'll take it. If that's what it takes to get Governor Newsom to stop being a princess, I'll take that too.
Well, he seems to be calling out your state, and he's saying, hey, look at the red states and the crime that they're dealing with. Here he is yesterday during that presser. Listen.
If he is to invest in crime suppression, I hope the President of the United States would look at the facts. Just consider Speaker Johnson's state and district. Just look at the murder rate. That's nearly 4 times higher than California's. in Louisiana.
How do you respond to the governor on that?
I welcome help. I welcome federal help. I welcome more state help. I welcome local help. Come on down. Look, I've watched Governor Newsom for years. And to quote one of my favorite columnists, he's put the funk into dysfunction. Every year that he's been governor.
It's like Senator John Kennedy has the best expressions, okay? The best phrases, okay? I mean, drop down below in the comments if you guys think that Senator John Kennedy has the best expressions and like phrases and stuff like that, okay? It's hilarious, all right?
Crime and violence has gotten worse in California. Why? Because Governor Newsom is a member of the socialist wing of his party. Because Governor Newsom has refused to get up off his ice cold, lazy butt and do something about it. Because Governor Newsom thinks that talking about crime, he's only doing it under pressure, is racist. Because he thinks that cops are a bigger problem than criminals. But I want to give him credit. Maybe he's had a conversion, but he's doing the right thing by sending in California State Police, and even a blind chicken finds a mealworm now and then.
Well,
How do you guys feel about what Trump is doing in D.C., okay? Do you guys support it? Do you think that President Trump is doing the right thing? What are your thoughts about it? Let me know your thoughts down below, okay? Yeah, shout out to President Trump even doing anything for D.C. right there. And that stands out a lot because, the Democrats, it's like the Democrats want crime. That's really how it strikes me. But let me know what you guys think down below, okay? And here we have Greasy Newsom, okay? Greasy Gavin Newsom out here, attacking different states and stuff like that, red states in particular. And what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that President Trump should send aid over to Louisiana and other red states? Let me know your thoughts down below. And yeah, let's get back into the video. Let's go.
We have had a handful, more, I should say, on this show and across this network of Chicago residents, some registered Democrats who have come on and said, please send in the help. Here's just some of them. Listen.
This is my real life. I've lost an uncle to Chicago crime. I've lost 2 first cousins to Chicago crime. I've lost distant family members, friends, neighbors. And what they want us to do is find comfort in this chaos and normalize this trauma. And we're not doing it anymore.
Just last night at 3 a.m. in the morning, down the street from me, I heard 7 gunshots. It's no way Brandon Johnson or Governor Pritzker would allow their family to go through the things that they know we're going through.
You hear that, Senator?
Wow.
And you have to wonder why Democrats think it's politically savvy to tell those people your concerns don't matter. That city doesn't need the help. Governor Pritzker posts a beautiful video on the lakefront in Chicago and says, this is the beautiful city that we live in, not acknowledging the crime that they're living and feeling every single day. Final thought.
Yeah, Chicago's rough, okay? Chicago is very rough, okay? And Philadelphia. Shout out to Philly, all right? And that's that. But what do you guys think about this? Let me know. Do we have anybody from Chicago? Okay, drop down below in the comments if you guys are from Chicago. Okay, or Philly. Shout out to Philly and any other states or in cities. Drop down below your city and or state down below in the comments. Okay, shout out to the King Squad. And yeah, I think that the Democrats. This is where we say the Democrats are completely anti-common sense, completely woke, and just unhinged and deranged. All right, President Trump has literally shown that he is pro-American, okay, pro-America. He's literally making America safe again and deporting these illegal aliens and literally making the streets of these crazy cities safer again. And, so families can actually have their, people can walk down the street feeling safe and kids can play at the park and all types of stuff like that. And the Democrats are out here saying, no, we don't want all that. We don't need your help, Trump. Okay, that's literally how the Democrats are talking to President Trump. What are your thoughts on that? I think it's completely just unhinged and just mind-blowing that they could sit here and say, like, Chicago's the best city ever. But the crime rate, okay, it's just crazy. It's crazy. This is why I say it's like whenever I think that Honestly, it's because it's Trump doing it. That's the thing. Okay, the Democrats will always be against it because it's President Trump doing it. All right. Now, if it was somebody else like Jurassic Joe Biden, well, then they'll be like, oh, yeah, this is great. All right, Jurassic Joe, Amazonian Joe, bring them on in, clean the city up. But see, Democrats, it's a little bit deeper because they need to keep people in a system of chaos and dysfunction to keep them voting blue no matter who. At least that's how it strikes me. But let me know what you guys think down below.
From you, Senator.
People want to be safe, whether they live in Chicago or Louisiana. It's undeniable that Chicago has a crime problem. It's one of the world's largest outdoor shooting ranges. One of the biggest risks in Indiana is stray bullets coming over from Chicago. I said yesterday, even the mafia is leaving Chicago because of crime. If I were the governor and mayor and I had a problem like this, I would welcome all the help I could get, including but not limited to law enforcement officials from the federal government.
So to be clear, you would welcome the National Guard coming into Louisiana?
In a skinny minute.
Copy that.
Any help they want to give us, we will gladly take.
Got it. Senator, always good to have you on the program. Thank you very much.
Wow, shout out to Senator John Kennedy for dropping those truth bombs and addressing these sensitive topics, okay? There's a lot to unpack here, and, there's a lot of talk, and, yeah, like I said earlier in the video, it really strikes me as the Democrats want to keep dysfunction and chaos because, well, it's controlled through chaos, okay? And that kind of thing, okay? Basically, they keep everybody in a state of just disarray and dysfunction, and they're able to control people. And while everybody's running around like they're like a chicken with their head cut off, and all this bad stuff is happening, the Democrats are able to reign supreme, okay, in these places, okay, in these blue cities, these Democratic territories, all right. And so here you have President Trump actually out here, trying to put some law and order in place and make these cities safer again, and the Democrats are like, no. We don't need that. Okay, Trump, keep your aid over there. And then they're attacking Trump and saying, well, if you're going to address the blue cities, how about you address the red states? Okay. And it's just this whole thing where you see that the Dems are never satisfied. They're always mad. The raging liberal is always looking for something to rage over. Okay. And you see that dynamic play out consistently throughout this entire time. And it honestly is because the Democrats are on the losing team. Okay. And so they're going to attack every single thing because they have nothing. All right. So that's what we see. And that's that.
So this I thought was particularly interesting from Lifinitor, who's an ex-commentator in Europe. Listen to this and look at that chart right there. Rates of robbery in Western European countries over the past 250 years. The figure illustrates that robbery was largely unknown in European cities throughout the second half of the 19th century and the first half of the 20th century. But since the early 1960s, the number of police-recorded robberies has exploded. Maybe this can be in part attributed to more reporting and better recording, but a large proportion certainly reflects a real change that is unparalleled in modern European society. So reporting might be a little bit different and all of those things. He's acknowledging that, but you don't have to be a wizard to look at the hockey stick of a chart right there. And basically, suddenly, since the 1960s, in Europe, you're getting all of this crime. So what has happened in the 1960s, taking into account that reporting might be different, technology is different, all of those things? Well, there's some serious problems. Listen to this from the rabbit hole on Twitter. Sex crime arrest rates for foreign nationals in England and Wales. So in England and in Wales, the people who are doing the most raping, basically, and sexual are from Sudan, Afghanistan, Eritrea, Iran, Iraq. We can go down the list. That seems like a problem, right? Now, it doesn't matter, obviously, if the rape is a native-born Brit or someone who just got over there from Afghanistan, but you might want to think about that a little bit. Elon saw that and he retweeted it. He wrote this: of Britain, remember to drop a white feather for the cowards who failed to stop this. Why, if you were a British politician over the last 20 years, would you have not said, boy, bringing in all of these people, we have these Pakistani grooming gangs and they're all of these people, and London, I mean, trust me, every single time I've been going to London probably once a year for the last 6 or 7 years, something like that. Like, London gets worse every single time. You can really see how it's cordoned off really between ethnicities. Like, it's not good. Why did nobody step up and do anything about it?
As we stand here in 2025 with Donald J. Trump as our 47th president, we're witnessing a seismic shift in the American political landscape. Trump's agenda, or Trump's unapologetic Make America Great Again agenda, is not only delivering tangible results, but also exposing the weakness in Democrat-led governance, compelling their mayors, governors, and potential presidential candidates to rethink their approach. And I gotta say, if it takes Trump's bold interventions to force Democrats to govern better, reduce crime, and secure our borders, then so be it. Because the results are undeniable and the contrast is stark. I want to dive into how this is all unfolding and why it really matters, folks, because Donald Trump's second term, which began on January 20, 2025, has been a whirlwind of action. His focus on border security, crime reduction, and economic revitalization through policies like the Big Beautiful Bill and historic tariffs is reshaping America's trajectory. We're on a better path, the right track, so to speak, compared to where we were, the road we were headed down, barreling down. And on day one, Trump declared a national emergency at the southern border, reinstating policies like Remain in Mexico and ending catch and release. The results? Border Patrol reported a historic low of 136 apprehensions in a single day and 0 parole releases in May and June. Encounters at the border plummeted by 93% since Trump took office, with only 7,000 apprehensions, the lowest since 2000, happening in March. Trump's administration, led by figures like Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, has also cracked down on illegal immigration with unprecedented vigor. Over 300,000 illegal aliens were arrested in this year alone, with 70% of ICE arrests targeting those with criminal charges or convictions. The Laken Riley Act, passed this year as well, mandates detention for non-citizens accused of even minor crimes, signaling a zero-tolerance policy approach to migrant crime. And Trump's narrative of immigrants as a source of crime may be controversial to some, but it resonates with many Americans frustrated by years of lax enforcement. His policies, like the CBP Home app with a self-deportation feature and a $1,000 stipend for voluntary return, are bold, creative, and focused on restoring law and order. Economically, Trump's tariffs, unveiled in the spring during the Make America Wealthy Again event, aim to bring manufacturing jobs back to the U.S. These measures, though challenged in court, much like everything else President Trump is doing, are part of a broader vision to prioritize American workers and reduce reliance on foreign economies. Crime rates are also dropping. Homicides in 30 cities fell 17% through June compared to last year, and a trend Trump's administration attributes to stronger law enforcement and deportation policies. Now, we're also about to embark on a time where President Trump's going to put his foot down against China, the CCP, Xi, Putin. Stay tuned, folks, because shit is about to hit the fucking fan. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be great for us, so long as we keep this momentum going. That's going to come down to midterms. It's going to come down to the 2028 election. We've got our work cut out for us. I'm going to be in it for the long haul. I hope you guys stay here with me. So, President Trump is forcing Democrats to face reality. And Trump's aggressive policies have put Democrats in a bind. Their shift leftward, far left, left of center since the days of Bill Clinton, who balanced tough on crime policies with economic pragmatism, has left them struggling to respond. Clinton's 1994 crime bill and his focus on border enforcement once appealed to a broad swath of Americans, and today, however, many Democrats advocate for open borders, defunding the police, and sanctuary cities, alienating swing voters. And why is that? We've discussed it before. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. However, polls show 66% of battleground state voters reject banning asylum and 79% oppose family separations, yet Democrats' reluctance to enforce borders has handed President Trump a political advantage. Even John Kerry admitted in July of this year that Democrats failed to emphasize law enforcement, saying, without a border protected, you don't have a nation. And this is actually crazy because some have realized the writing is on the wall. Joe Biden, seemingly unwell, taking a nasty fall or having some bruises on him here recently and going to get ice cream to make it feel all better. He's out without saying it. There's no need to even try and attempt to come back in. Kamala Harris has said she's out. And also, I think that it's also a part of the fact that they are realizing that they stand no chance, but also because they were told to stand down. You know, they're not really calling their own shots, right? And so this shift has forced Democrat mayors as well and governors to confront the consequences of their policies in cities like Chicago and in Baltimore, where crime has been a persistent issue. Trump's suggestion of deploying the National Guard has sparked outrage, but also introspection. And some Democrats, like New York City Mayor Eric Adams, face pressure to align with Trump's enforcement agenda or risk losing credibility on public safety. But Mayor Eric Adams is in a unique situation, and we know the path that New York is heading down. Despite Kathy Hochul flip-flopping back and forth, New York voters are going to decide. And President Trump, as far as I can tell, has even offered a cabinet position to Mayor Eric Adams. So there's that. I expect Mayor Eric Adams, I think he's already decided he's an independent, but he'll probably become a Republican soon. And John Thune already said that the Trump nominations are going to get pushed through here. And so we should see, before the end of the first year of President Trump's second term, literally pouring gasoline on this fire. You know, we're gonna press that NOS button and really hammer down and power through this and make massive changes here. Okay. Now you got others like Newark, New Jersey's Ross Baraka, who faced direct confrontations with ICE, highlighting the tension between local resistance and federal crackdowns. And Trump's policies are exposing the failures of Democrat-led cities to address crime, pushing their leaders to either adapt or double down on unpopular stances. You can take a stab in the dark on which one they're going to choose. Flip a coin. The Democratic Party's leftward drift, far left of center, evident in their 2024 platform's focus on expansive immigration reforms and social justice, has made Republicans, with their emphasis on security and economic nationalism, appear closer to the pragmatic center that Clinton once occupied. But speaking of occupying, Clinton may be occupying a jail cell here soon, but we'll see how that one plays out. Now, Trump's rhetoric, while divisive to some, channels the anger of voters fed up with rising costs, crime, and unsecured borders, and his ability to dominate the conversation forces Democrats to rethink their messaging and governance, potentially producing stronger candidates who prioritize results over ideology or whatever it was that Tim Walz was doing on stage. The bigger picture here is a wake-up call for Democrats. If Trump's interventions, border walls, mass deportations, tariffs, and what it takes to lower crime and secure America's borders, and the trade-off being what we all voted for, it's worth it for many. His policies have slashed illegal border crossings, empowered law enforcement, and sparked economic optimism, with 100,000 Americans applying to join ICE, including Superman, or a Superman, Dean Cain, and this reflecting renewed confidence in national security. Democrats, meanwhile, are being pushed to govern better, whether it's Chicago's mayor addressing gun violence or California's governor tackling sanctuary state policies. The pressure is on. Adapt to the public's demand for safety and what Trump's telling you to do, and prosperity or risk irrelevance.
Washington, D.C. is a totally safe city. You're not reporting any crime because there is none. They said crime is down 87%, and I said, no, it's not. It's down 100%. We have a great thing going. I could do that with Chicago. We could do that with New York. We could do it with Los Angeles. So we're making a determination now. Do we go to Chicago, or do we go to a place like New Orleans, where we have a great governor, Jeff Landry, who wants us to come in and straighten out a very nice section of this country that's become quite tough, quite bad. So we're going to be going to maybe Louisiana, and you have New Orleans, which has a crime problem. We'll straighten that out in about 2 weeks. It'll take us 2 weeks, easier than D.C. But we could straighten out Chicago. All they have to do is ask us to go into Chicago if we don't have the support of some of these politicians. But I'll tell you who is supporting us, the people of Chicago. And I sort of want them to let it be known they have incompetent people.
And risk President Trump stepping in and taking over. You can call him a dictator all you want, but he's trying to keep us safe. He's trying to make America great again. And I've got a quick note on Medicare, and this is for you seniors out there watching, subscribing. And just for a quick moment, I want to share an important message with you about Medicare and taking care of our seniors. So here, watch this clip I recorded and put together the other day from my back porch. Roll the tape. And thank you all for the love and support. Without you, none of this would be possible. Every donation, super thanks, sent through YouTube, memberships here and on Patreon keep us going. Hopefully taking this show on the road here very soon and bringing our voice to you and making an impact for what is to come. Because our fight isn't over, even though we're truly blessed and winning every day that we wake up and touch ground. And it doesn't matter if you're in California, Texas, Iowa, Florida, New York, or Kansas. We're all in this together. And today, I want to talk about something that affects so many of us and our loved ones, Medicare. Folks, the Medicare enrollment period is right around the corner, and I cannot stress enough how critical it is to take action now. Whether you're new to Medicare or already enrolled, these periods, like the annual enrollment period from October 15th to December 7th, are your chance to make sure you're set up for success. Waiting until the last minute or assuming your current plan is good enough can lead to costly mistakes that could haunt you for years, maybe even for the rest of your life on Medicare. And let me share a couple of real world examples to drive this point home. Imagine a retiree. Let's call her Susan from Florida. Susan thought her Medicare plan was fine and she'd be on it for years. Didn't want the hassle of reviewing it, but when she needed emergency surgery, she found out her plan didn't cover the specialist she needed. She was stuck with thousands of dollars in out-of-pocket costs. Now, if she reviewed her options during the enrollment period, she could have switched to a plan that covered her needs and saved her from the financial nightmare that she now faces. Then there's John from Texas, who procrastinated on enrolling in a Part D prescription drug plan because he didn't need meds yet. Yeah, When he was diagnosed with a chronic condition, he faced a lifetime penalty, paying higher premiums every single month because he missed the initial enrollment window. And these aren't just stories, they're warnings. Delays or inaction during Medicare enrollment can lead to overpaying for coverage, gaps in care, or penalties that stick with you for life. And here's the truth. Most seniors are not on the best Medicare plan for their needs. And according to studies, many are either overpaying for the same coverage that they could get elsewhere for less, or they're stuck with plans that leave them exposed in the event of an emergency. Whether it's a hospital stay, a specialist visit, or a new prescription, the wrong plan can cost you thousands of dollars or leave you scrambling when you least expect it. But here's the good news. You don't have to navigate this alone. You don't have to wait until it's too late. That's where our incredible friends and partners at Chapter come in. They're offering free Medicare help and consultation to make sure you're on the right plan for you. And you can reach them right now at the number that you guys see on the screen. At the number you see on your screen, 270-467-2426. And here's why Chapter is different. They work for you, not big insurance companies or the government. In under 20 minutes, their expert advisors can review your current plan and compare it against thousands of options available in your area. And if you're already on the best possible plan for your needs, then they'll just tell you, no strings attached. But if there's a better option, one that saves you money or gives you better coverage, well, they'll walk you through how to switch, even if it's to a plan that pays them nothing. That's right. Schedule a free consultation, take control of your Medicare plan, protect your health, and save your hard-earned money, because you deserve peace of mind no matter where you are. Again, let me know. California, Texas, Iowa, Florida, New York, Kansas, or anywhere in between. Let's keep the momentum going here, folks. Share this message, spread the word, and let's make sure everyone we care about is ready for what's ahead. Again, thank you for being part of this community, and let's keep fighting the good fight together. President Trump's first term saw efforts to protect Medicare and Social Security, and his 2024 campaign emphasized preserving these programs for seniors. And unlike some Democrats who floated cuts or privatization, Trump's administration has vowed to maintain these benefits, aligning with his broader promise to put Americans first. And if you'd like me to expand on this or address specific pain points, then please let me know. Drop a comment. And while you're down there, tell me what you think. This is a pivotal moment for America. Trump's policies are delivering results, but they're also a wake-up call for Democrats to return to pragmatic governance. Are you seeing these changes in your town, city, your county, your state, your community? Do you think Democrats will step up as better leaders because of Trump's pressure? Drop your thoughts down below and any questions you may have. I can't wait to read them all. I'd love to hear from you and answer any specific points that you guys raise. And thank you for joining me on this journey to unpack today. It's September 4th, 2025, and how President Trump is making America great again. Love you all. God bless.